Empiricism as noun. Acquiring knowledge through evidence and observation. Philosophical belief based on sensory experience. The scientific method is based on empiricism, which means that knowledge comes from observation and experimentation. The psychologist's research was based on empiricism, using data and observations to draw conclusions about human behavior. Some philosophers argue that empiricism is the only valid approach to understanding the world. Empiricism has been a cornerstone of modern medicine, allowing doctors to diagnose and treat patients based on objective evidence. The debate between empiricism and rationalism has been going on for centuries in the field of philosophy. Tirade is noun, a long, angry, and critical speech or rant, a verbal outburst of criticism, denunciation, or condemnation. She went on a tirade about the unfairness of the system. The boss went on a tirade after seeing the mistakes in the report. His tirade about politics lasted for hours. The coach gave a tirade to the team after the loss. His tirade against the company's policies made everyone uncomfortable. Incense is noun, a substance that produces a fragrant aroma when burned, used in religious or spiritual ceremonies, something that strongly irritates or angers someone. The room was filled with the sweet smell of incense. The incense smoke wafted through the air and left a lingering scent. The priest burned incense during the religious ceremony. She lit the incense to create a relaxing atmosphere in the room. He bought a variety of incense to try different fragrances. Base is noun, a fundamental or underlying principle or component, the lowermost part or bottom of something. The military base was heavily guarded and housed thousands of soldiers. The chemist added a base to the solution to neutralize the acidity. The baseball player made it to third base before being tagged out. The factory built a new base for the large machine to sit on. The artist used a base of white paint to create a clean background for the painting. Proponent as noun, an individual who speaks or acts in favor of a particular proposal, policy, or legislation. She was a strong proponent of the new tax plan. The senator was a vocal proponent of gun control. He is a proponent of alternative medicine. The company was a leading proponent of clean energy. Many environmentalists are proponents of recycling. Buttress is noun, a support structure built against a wall or other surface, often used to provide additional strength or stability, something that provides support or protection to something else. The medieval castle's walls were supported by sturdy buttresses that helped to distribute the weight and prevent collapse. The architect designed the building with flying buttresses to add extra support and create an impressive, cathedral-like appearance. The crumbling cathedral needed extensive restoration work, including repairing the damaged buttresses that held up the walls. The retaining wall was built with buttresses to reinforce the structure and prevent soil erosion. The ancient temple's buttresses were decorated with intricate carvings and sculptures, adding to the beauty of the structure. Surfeit as noun, an excessive amount of something, especially food or drink. Overindulgence in food or drink. The buffet had a surfeit of desserts. A surfeit of riches can be just as problematic as not having enough. He ate so much pizza that he felt a surfeit in his stomach. The surfeit of available information on the internet can be overwhelming. The company suffered a surfeit of unsold inventory. Jargon as noun, a specialized language or vocabulary used by a particular group of people, often technical or occupational in nature, and difficult for others to understand. A technical term or phrase that is used in a specific field or profession. The medical jargon used by the doctor was difficult for the patient to understand. The legal jargon in the contract was too complex for the average person. The IT guy used too much jargon when explaining the computer problem. The chef used a lot of culinary jargon when describing the dish. The scientific jargon made the research paper difficult to comprehend. Probity is noun. Adherence to high ethical standards. Honesty and integrity in one's actions and decisions. The candidate was chosen for their probity and honesty. The company prides itself on its probity in all business dealings. The judge's reputation for probity was well known in the legal community. The organization requires its members to uphold a strict code of probity and ethics. The politician's probity was called into question after allegations of corruption emerged. Concomitant as noun, a simultaneous occurrence or a thing that happens at the same time as another thing. A thing that accompanies or is associated with something else as a consequence or natural result. Increased stress levels can have concomitant health effects. Economic growth can have concomitant environmental impacts. With success comes concomitant responsibilities. Increased competition in the market is a concomitant result of globalization. Higher prices are a concomitant effect of inflation. Censor as noun, an official authorized to examine books, films, and other materials. Removes or suppresses any parts that are considered obscene, politically unacceptable, or a threat to security. The journalist criticized the censor for limiting free speech and expression. The musician's song was censored for its explicit lyrics. The book was banned by the censor for its controversial content. The movie had to undergo several cuts and edits to meet the censor standards. The government appointed a censor to monitor and regulate the media's content. Bromide is noun, a compound containing bromine, typically used as a sedative or anticonvulsant. A trite or unoriginal remark or statement, often used to pacify or placate someone. His speech was full of cliches and bromides, lacking any original thought. The doctor prescribed a bromide to help the patient sleep. The bromide solution was added to the chemical reaction to neutralize the acid. The writer's use of bromides made the dialogue sound unrealistic and dull. The politician's response to the crisis was a mere bromide, offering empty reassurances without any real solutions.
Pillory as noun, a public punishment device consisting of a wooden framework with holes for the head and hands, used for displaying and punishing criminals. A wooden structure with holes for the head and hands, used in the past for public punishment and humiliation. The pillory was a common form of punishment in medieval times. The criminal was sentenced to a day in the pillory for his crimes. The pillory was designed to humiliate and expose the wrongdoer to public ridicule. The use of the pillory was eventually abolished in most Western countries. The townspeople gathered to watch as the accused was placed in the pillory.
Profusion as noun, a great quantity or flow, especially of a particular substance. An abundance or excessive amount of something, often in a lavish or generous manner. The museum contained a profusion of beautiful artwork. The garden was filled with a profusion of colorful flowers. The writer's work was characterized by a profusion of ideas. The market had a profusion of fresh produce. The internet has made a profusion of information available to us. Erratic is noun, a boulder or rock that differs from the surrounding rock and was transported by glacial action to a location different from its place of origin. The coach benched the player for his erratic performance during the game. The company fired the employee for being an erratic worker who couldn't meet deadlines. The erratic of the compass caused them to lose their way in the dense forest. The captain's erratic steering put the ship in danger of hitting the rocks. The politician's erratic behavior and erratic decisions led to his downfall.
Malfeasance as noun, improper or illegal conduct, especially by a public official or person in a position of trust. Wrongdoing or misconduct, especially in a public office or position of trust. The company's malfeasance was exposed in a series of investigative reports that revealed illegal practices and corruption. The politician was forced to resign after being accused of malfeasance in office. The lawyer's malfeasance in handling the client's case resulted in a lawsuit against him. The police officer was fired for his malfeasance in conducting an illegal search. The CEO's malfeasance caused the company to go bankrupt, leaving thousands of employees without jobs.
Boon is noun. It can also refer to a gift or a favor granted, to a benefit or something that is helpful or beneficial. The new highway was a boon to the town, making it easier for residents to commute and for businesses to transport goods. The scholarship was a boon for the student, as it allowed them to attend college without incurring significant debt. The invention of the printing press was a boon to literacy, as it made books and other printed materials more widely available. The discovery of oil was a boon to the local economy, creating jobs and boosting growth in the region. The end of the conflict was a boon for peace, allowing people to rebuild and move forward with their lives. Diatribe is noun, a lengthy and bitter criticism or attack, a strong, angry, and critical speech or writing. The politician's speech turned into a diatribe against his opponent. The newspaper editorial was a diatribe against the government's policies. The talk show host launched a diatribe against the celebrity guest. His social media post was a diatribe against anyone who disagreed with his views. Her rant about the service at the restaurant was a diatribe that lasted for several minutes. Zeitgeist is noun, the defining spirit or mood of a particular period, era, or generation, often reflecting its beliefs, values, and cultural trends. The prevailing attitudes, ideas, and cultural influences that characterize a specific time in history. The music of that era perfectly captured the zeitgeist of the 1960s. The novel was considered a true representation of the zeitgeist of the post-war period. The fashion designer's collection echoed the current zeitgeist of sustainability and eco-consciousness. His artwork reflected the social and political changes of the zeitgeist. This film embodies the zeitgeist of our modern society, exploring themes of technology and isolation.
Vicissitude as noun, a change or variation occurring in the course of something, alternating or successive changes of fortune or circumstances. The stock market is known for its vicissitudes, with prices constantly fluctuating. The writer's life was filled with ups and downs, including many vicissitudes. The company has experienced many financial vicissitudes over the years. The coach helped the team navigate the vicissitudes of a long and difficult season. The artist's work reflects the vicissitudes of life and the human condition.
Ready to boost your English? Meet our vocabulary app, the fun and effective way to master the language. Books learn advanced words with examples and audio. Direct hit master idioms, proverbs, and phrasal verbs. Video game enjoy quizzes, flashcards, and pronunciation tests. Glow showing Europe, Africa translate into 100 plus languages, all in one app. Did you learn new words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Download now and start your journey to vocabulary mastery.